Well, good evening, everyone. It's great to be here. It's great to be alive. In Big Sky, Montana for the TEDx Talks. I'm Jim Sailstrom. I'm Jan and Verge's middle boy. And I was raised in Central America, Kearney, Nebraska. Growing up on the Great Plains of Central America in Kearney, Nebraska, I had an awakening when I was little. I realized that I really loved music, and I've been doing it all my life. I love playing all the time. I'd play for 10 people around a campfire, or I'd play for 50 people at the Acre Kitchen in the town center last night here in Big Sky, or 20,000 people with Dolly Parton in an arena. And I think the largest audience that I ever played for was 500,000 people under the arch in St. Louis on the 4th of July with Dolly. That was a lot of folks. It's great to be here. I want to tell you a little bit about my life. I met John Denver when I was 16, and I've been working as an opening act or in Dolly Parton's band since I was 21, and got to do a lot of really special shows because of that. 4 shows on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson and Jay Leno, and 2 HBO specials, one from London, the Academy Awards show. That was really special. And I love performing, and I've learned some things from these superstars that I've got to know and I got to meet a long time ago, and Dolly still. They're incredible storytellers. They're incredible at breaking down the invisible barrier between the audience and the stage. And that's a really hard thing to learn how to do. They're charismatic. And so I would like to share just a couple stories. If you're like me, and I know that I am, you love a good story, and you love a good storyteller. Dolly Parton is probably one of the greatest storytellers on the planet right now. She's just wonderful at breaking down that barrier between the audience and the stage. She makes you feel like she's talking to you and that you're her closest friend. And that's a real gift. That's a really great way to present a song and tell a story and to entertain. And she's got that all down. She tells stories. About half of her show are the stories behind the songs. How the songs that are really famous were written, and she tells the story about that. And people go away from a Dolly Parton concert and they feel like they know her. And they feel like they're really her best friend. And they are. They really are. Because she connects with everyone in the audience. She's got an incredible look. She's a beautiful girl, and she has this incredible look. You know what I'm talking about. She has these incredible rhinestone outfits that are made custom just for her. And she said, in show business, you have to have a gimmick. And I was really lucky because I had 2. And so she wears these incredible costumes, and part of the way she delivers her and presents her show is she has like a flesh-colored microphone that comes down out of her hair. And unless you're really close or you can see, like maybe in a photo here, you can't really see it, from the audience. And this way, it's a wireless FM microphone. She can walk around the stage and she can tell the stories, and people feel that comfort, and they feel like she's really talking to me. And most people wear this FM transmitter battery pack that goes along with the microphone. Most guys wear it on their belt, She doesn't have a belt, and there's no place to put the battery pack. And I've never asked her, where the battery pack is. And I've done that because I'm a gentleman and I really like her a lot as a lady. And I thought that would probably be a rude question to ask. Plus, I wanted to keep my job, And in the 40 years that I've worked with her, that battery pack has never failed. And I remember this one night. I'm in Melbourne, Australia, at the Rod Laver Arena. We're filming all this for 3 nights. 21,000 people are in that arena, and you can feel the electricity because when you are in the Dolly Parton band and you're at a Dolly Parton show, everyone's so excited to get to see her. And they should be, and they are. And the lights come down on the stage. Everything gets dark in the arena. And I see a silhouette of her in my peripheral vision over here. And she's a little incredible dynamo of a lady. And it's dark. I see 12 of my best friends and my musician pals from Nashville and my best friend Richard, all on stage getting ready to go. And I hear in my in-ear monitors, I hear praying. And she's praying before every show. And that's how she gets her energy and gets psyched up. And so the lights come up. It's like getting on a freight train or a rocket ride to the moon. You get to take off, and it just goes, and you've got your part down, and it's so much fun. And about a third of the way through this show on that one night in Melbourne, her FM microphone battery started going. And we didn't know that on stage. The sound guys started to freak out backstage because they've got this big flat screen monitor that's just the battery for that one microphone. And they knew that something was going wrong and it was failing. And we didn't know. And so Danny, he's this big, large, lovable dancing bear manager, has an agreement with Dolly. He walks out on stage and he puts his hand out like this, like he's going to shake her hand. And they've got this agreement that we don't know about in the band. It means that she has to leave like right now, no questions asked, and then they'll figure out what the deal is, So he comes out, puts his hand out like this, and she goes over and takes his hand, and before the battery fails, she turns to the audience and she says, "Well, I guess I got to go for a little bit, but I'm sure I'll be right back." And then she walks right by me, and as she gets to about right here, she goes, with these laser-piercing eyes, she says, "Go." And it was like, oh my gosh, what does that mean? And the survival skills in my mindset from opening for her in the band Timberline when I was younger kicked in. And so I started playing the riff to Love the One You're With. And I turned around to the 12 people on the stage, and they're looking at me going like, what's the deal here? Why did she leave, and why are you doing that? And then they said, okay, we'll follow you. We've got your back. And I went into Love the One You're With. Now, my daughter, Casey is living here in Big Sky, Montana, and she's in the audience here tonight, and she just chuckled. Casey was in the audience there in Melbourne, Australia, in the 12th row. And I heard later that Casey stood up. She's down, right down here on the floor in this 21,000 seat deal. And she said, "Oh my gosh, something's wrong with Dolly's microphone. And Daddy gets to sing." And all of a sudden, she started dancing, And she got the people she was with to get up and start dancing. The whole row got up and started dancing. The whole bottom floor started dancing. Everybody in this arena got up and started dancing to Love the One You're With. And it was a joyful ride for me because here I am getting to perform a song with Dolly's band in this big arena, and everybody thought it was part of the show. Well, little did I know, she's backstage, and they're working on her. They're working on trying to fix this battery issue with the FM mic, and I found out later where they do keep the battery pack. It's up here in her hair somewhere, and don't tell anyone, okay? TED Talk people, please. And anyway, they fixed it. And as they were fixing it, the manager said, "What are we going to do? What are we going to do?" And Dolly said, calmly, she said, "Don't worry. Jim Bob's got it. Jim Bob knows exactly what to do." And I was really honored and flattered by hearing that later. She's a national treasure. We all love her so much. She's an incredible songwriter. She's written thousands of songs. And she wrote a beautiful song a month ago, right before she did this CBS TV special for Christmas. It's called A Holly Dolly Christmas. I got invited to sing in the choir, and I'm the big angel in the back with the white robe on. And if you get a chance to hear this song, man, it's so beautiful. It's called I Still Believe. And that says a lot about Dolly Parton. She gave $1 million to Vanderbilt for the COVID vaccine, and she does things that people don't even know about. But her imagination library is really cool. And she's an amazing national treasure. I want to sing a song because I've written hundreds of songs, And I've always tried to rise to the inspiration that I get from Dolly Parton when I write a song. And this is a song that I wrote here in Big Sky, Montana. And it's dedicated to my daughter, Casey, her new husband, Brandon, my son, James, his girlfriend, Brianna, and especially my wife, Pam. I got to fix this. I beg your pardon. Me bad. If I could do-see-do the way that I rodeo, I'd be at heaven's door with you in my arms. If you sashay this way, I'd twirl you round and say, you are too beautiful this evening beneath the big sky. All of my dreams came true when I found the road to you. Montana, your skies are blue. There's stars in your eyes. This is the last best place. Yours is the only face. You are too beautiful this evening beneath the big sky. Someone said time stands still. When you're in love, it will. My heart is more than filled with your mom and my life. So let us celebrate it, all of the love we made it. Here's to the life you gave us beneath the big sky. And if we have to dance apart, you're always in my heart. This is the last best place, and yours is the only face. You are too beautiful this evening beneath the big sky. I love you, Pam. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. The other story that I want to tell is about John Denver. I met him when I was 16. In Central America, we had this large sound company in Kearney called Stanel Sound. They were the third largest company in the country, and they were doing sound for Neil Diamond at the Hollywood Bowl, Alice Cooper at the Greek Theater, Simon and Garfunkel in Central Park in New York, and John Denver at the Red Rocks. And the Red Rocks Amphitheater is this beautiful natural amphitheater just outside of Denver. And I was 16, and they just ran out of people. They didn't have enough people to do the show. And they knew that Timberline was doing a lot of John Denver songs. I was the lead singer, and they knew how much I loved John Denver. And they asked me if I'd like to go out and do the monitors for John. And I went, oh, yes, please. And so it's 7 o'clock in the morning, June 21st, 1972. I'm screwing in the mic stands, to the poles here. I'm doing it just like this. And a guy taps me on the shoulder, and he says, "Can I help?" And I was nervous because I knew I was going to get to meet my hero. And I said, no, these are John Denver's mic stands. I've got this. This is my job. And I said it kind of probably a little bit too serious like that. And I turned around. This guy was laughing his head off. It was John Denver. And he was there to help, And I got to hang with him all that morning, and I became a gopher for him, like I became his stage manager, and I carried his guitars out on stage, and I took some props out, and he found out about Timberline and knew that I was a musician, that I loved his music, and about 2 o'clock in the afternoon when they did a sound check, John said to me, he said, you know, I had a big hit song 2 years ago. You might have heard of it. It was called Take Me Home Country Roads. And I said, yeah, I heard that one. That was a good song. That was a good song. He said, well, I've got to have another big hit song like that, or the train might leave the station without me. And he had kind of a twinkle in his eye, and he played this song. And this song was just so amazing to me. He took a few of us back around a rock, and he played it again. And he was so excited because you could tell everybody around him, everybody that heard this song went, wow, there's something really cool about this song. He played it that night for 9,000 people at the Red Rocks Amphitheater. And this giant harvest moon came up over Denver. And everybody there went nuts. They all knew that they were witnessing something really special. And even though, you know, he's been gone for 20 years, there's one other story I wanted to tell you about him. I watched him go in the train ride, you know, when the celebrity thing, you know, I saw him really, really rise to the top. And at one point, after Elvis left us, he had Elvis Presley's band. And they were like really great musicians. And he told that band, and he told every band the same thing, that to break down the barrier for him and to reach out and touch the audience, it was about his vocal and his guitar and his songwriting, his song, you know. That was it. And so he told everybody, I'm not an egotist at all. I mean, he was a beautiful, sweet person. He said, it's about me. It's about the guitar, the vocal, and the song. And so he said, wait to come in on your instrument. Wait to come in until you can't stand it. And then wait some more. And so the piano player, Glenn D. Harden, said, well, I'll get that guy. I'll show him. And so on the very end of Sunshine on My Shoulders, the very last chord, Glenn D. hadn't played a note on the piano. And on the very last chord, on the end of Sunshine on My Shoulders, he went. He did this great big gliss, you know, glissando. And he said, well, I showed John Denver. I showed him. John Denver turned around and said, that's the best you've ever played that song. These folks like John Denver continue to inspire me. I dream about him sometimes, and we were really good friends for 25 years, and I hope to try to awaken the next generation of young songwriters and singers, and I hope that they'll fall in love with his music the way I did and maybe learn something more about him and learn the songs. And so I do that. I continue to play his music all the time. I think inspiration is a wonderful thing. And these folks, you know, that have inspired me, like my teachers, my scoutmaster, I'm an Eagle Scout, my pastors. At the top of the list would be my mom and dad. And then, you know, the very top of the list would be Pamela Jean Daylor Sailstrom, my wife. And she created two other inspirations for us. Casey Rebecca June Sailstrom, now Freeman, and my son, James Kevin Sailstrom, Jr. And these people they're everything to me in my life, and I love them with all my heart. And I know that when you wake up tomorrow and you think about these TEDx talks, I hope you awaken to a feeling of being inspired by all these wonderful, wonderful stories of these people's lives. And I hope that you'll nurture the thought that you're an inspiration in someone's life too. And you might know it, and you might not know it, but it's true. So thank you very much for listening to my story, and thank you very much for tuning in and being here tonight at the Warren Miller Performing Arts Center. It is great to be alive, and TEDx Talks are doing just fine in Big Sky, Montana. This is the song that I learned from John when I was 16. I got to sing this when the state legislatures at Colorado Capital, the state capital of Colorado, voted it in to be the co-official state song of Colorado. He was born in the summer of his 27th year, coming home to a place he'd never been before. He left the yesterday behind him. You might say he was born again. You might say he found the key for every door. When he first came, oh wow. Wow, here's some inspiration. This is my son James Sailstrom. When he first came to the mountains, his life was far away, on the road, hanging by a song. But the string's already broken, and he doesn't really care. It keeps changing fast, and it don't last for long. Sing it with me. And the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. Shadows from the starlight, softer than a lullaby. Rocky Mountain High in Colorado. Rocky Mountain High in Colorado. Now his life is filled with wonder, but his heart still knows some fear of a simple thing he cannot comprehend. Why they try to tear the mountains down to bring in a couple more people, more scars upon the land. Let's sing it. From the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. I know we beat a poor man and he never saw an eagle fly. Rocky Mountain High in Colorado. Rocky Mountain High on a Saturday night in Big Sky, Montana. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High.